something keeps coming to mind, right? Failure and faith. Failure and faith, right? Even in our journey to success, as we embrace or as we see failure or we fail at any particular point in time, is that supposed to increase our faith in what we are doing for us to be strong to do it, or we should just give up at a particular point in time? I believe failure will open other doors for you to learn from your mistakes too. I hope I'm not mistaken there, but I know it's going to do that. Then another part also that another chapter here, that's the 8th point. It's overthinking. And there I'm like, overthinking? I thought we were all supposed to think.
You can do it too much. You can think too much.
Yeah. Can we connect that to the mental health of people at a particular point in time? Does it affect it in any way? But tell us, like overthinking. I thought we were supposed to think rather in the moment or in that period to be successful. How does that affect us?
So yeah, overthinking the process, it again stumps you, like doubt, fear, it makes you procrastinate because you having all these thoughts, all these extra thoughts. It's like your brain is going in overdrive. It's like you're filling your head up with so many different it's just a self-sabotaging behavior because you're continually thinking of all these things. It's like a nonstop wheel. Just keep overthinking. I've wasted so much time overthinking too, because I'm always trying to figure out the whole situation, right? Like, okay, this is what I want to do, but I can't do this because you're thinking of too many things. You need to just move forward. You need to just step out on faith and just move forward, because overthinking will get you stuck back at square one.
Wow, you need to step out, move forward.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about the routine that people or you take in order to make you successful in whatever project that you have, what you want to accomplish. Here, I basically did underline some of the things that I saw here, which I personally love so much. You like successful people take time to read in the morning, whether it be the Bible, a book about their business, motivation. Some listen to motivational podcast or sermon. Check out my podcast, The Direction 360. Is very, very important. It will empower you. Some listen to motivational podcasts or sermons, or recite or listen to positive affirmation. And I see you are very huge on affirmations. I've been following you a lot on Instagram, and you're very huge when it comes to affirmations and all that, positive affirmations and all that. Can you probably share with us like a personal story where affirmations did help you, and before that, probably what are some of the things that you do in the morning? Like, what is your routine like in the morning when you wake up? Like, that really help you to achieve things, and some of the affirmations that you really put out there for yourself, you declare out there for yourself, that helps you.
So one of the biggest affirmations that helped me is just thinking about who I am in Christ. Because by myself, we're nothing, right? So I had to speak life into myself. Instead of thinking negative, you can't do this, or you're not good enough. You are good enough. You are created in God's image. I created like on, I think chapter 2, I put like a chapter of affirmations, just speaking positively to yourself. It doesn't have to be anything grand. Just when you have that negative thought, combat it with something positive. It's just speaking that positivity, because if you're negative, you're not going to be able to move forward, because you're going to put yourself down and you're going to feel like you're down in the dumps. So I just, speaking whatever that negative thing is, like, I can do it. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. You have to just, whatever that negative thought is, just automatically say something positive. And that could be an affirmation. Like, I am successful. I am the greatest, just like Muhammad Ali, you are the greatest, and I spoke things into existence. For instance, my student loans, right? I was overburdened with my student loans. I'm like, I am going to be able to pay this off, right? So, and then you start looking at things that happen. I work for a nonprofit, and after paying for 10 years with a nonprofit, my student loans are paid in full. But I had to put that thought in my head. I remember putting that thought in my head years ago. And I said, my student loans are going to be paid off, because I was getting that bill. And I'm like, I don't want to pay the student loan anymore. I'm like, Lord, help me. And I had wrote it down, like my student loans will be paid off. I wrote it down and put it in the Bible years ago. And then last year, I got a letter saying that my student loans were forgiven. Right? Wow. I had been paying for 20 years, and I had been delaying it, deferring it, and everything. But I got that notice that my student loans were paid off, and I started thinking about how I was feeling in the dumps about that, and how I started speaking that it's going to be paid off, and it happened. So you have to speak it, you have to think it, say it, and do something that's going to, make that thing happen, right? So you have to look for programs, whatever that situation is. You have to research that situation and look for different ways to change what that situation is.
Wow. You have to speak it, you have to think it, you have to see, you have to put it in action.
See it.
Or put
first you got to see it.
You have to see
yourself being successful. Yeah. The vision. You have to be a visionary and see it first. See it, think it, say it, and then do something to make that happen.
Okay. I hope I don't forget the steps, because you have to see it, you have to think it, you have to say it to make sure it happens. Okay, that's powerful. I have a very interesting question here that somebody sent to me. It was like, can we discuss if possible, I mean, in relation to you two, personal life, if you can also share that with us, a specific turning point or challenge in your life that significantly impacted your path to success. Any specific turning point in your life that significantly impacted your path to success?
I was feeling empty. I had this, corporate career. Again, like I said, I've been in insurance for 24 years. But I love working in insurance. I love educating. I love talking to teach people about, improving their finances and their financial situations through insurance. But I was feeling an emptiness, because I know God told me to write a book years ago, but I kept putting it on the back burner because I was overthinking the process for years. And so I would start writing a book, and then I'll put it to the wayside. And then I just was feeling unfulfilled. That was the biggest point. I was feeling unfulfilled, and I felt like I was living in professional mediocrity. I was living had a professional career, but something was missing deep down. And when something is missing, I just, like I said, I was having problems sleeping. And I just had to, just take it to God. Like, what is this thing that I'm missing out on in life? So I had to push myself out of that feeling of emptiness. And I started taking steps by, thinking about what makes me the most happy other than my 9 to 5, what makes me feel fulfilled. And I started feeling fulfilled by writing, because that was something that I loved to do since I was a child. And I stopped doing it for a long time, but then I was like missing something. And so, as I just, went forward and I was feeling that emptiness, I started writing. I created a blog. I created a blog about procrastination. And that's what turned into the actual first Skyrocket Your Success book. That study about procrastination and getting myself out of it. Was like 9 keys to kick procrastination. And that started my success study. Like, okay, you're procrastinating because you're stopping the thing that God told you to do to be successful. And so that's what started it all. Me feeling empty, like me trying to center myself, assess what's going on. And then I said, okay, let me start writing. I did a blog, and then I turned the blog into a book. And then that was the starting point of me, moving forward. And then I became a success coach during the pandemic. My background is just I've done everything, just about everything. I sold cars. I worked as a teacher. I sold real estate, worked in construction. I've done all these different things, but I still was feeling empty. So I had to, assess what made me happy. And then that's what changed it. Assess, and I had to pray about it. Because, even though I dealt with procrastination, and, I had to have God help me with that, I had to still put things in writing, see it, think it, and then just start making it happen.
Wow, that is a very insightful, eye-opening statement and story also there. My desire is that everybody up here, if in any aspect of your life that you need to take this important message that is coming out to you in that area that you want to succeed in, you do it. Hey, we are all striving towards perfection. I've been on platforms that similar question have been asked me, and I told them, I'm not a Superman. Trust me, I'm learning on the way. There are a lot that I'm also learning. I like the way you said apart you were still going about your 9 to 5, but you were feeling empty at the point. You realize that no, you have to go into prayer so that that aspect of you that will not let you feel empty, but rather cause you to accomplish things was coming out gradually. You discovered one of them is to write. And out of that writing and out of that book, we met
Yes,
online.
yes,
Now we are
yes,
here. So you see,
yes.
just by listening to that inner voice or God's voice to tell you what to do and you obeying it, that opens doors for you to be a blessing to people, right? And I'm truly grateful that you listen to God's voice. And it's a blessing. The second question that I also have here for you is it's also a very interesting one, okay? About how can you share a mentorship or a learning experience, okay, that has been instrumental in shaping your success. Any mentorship programs that you were doing, whether some books that you were reading, whether some coaching stuff that you were attending, that really shaped your success.
The biggest thing that shaped my success was seeking mentorship coaching. I had to invest, man. Okay, so my process started in 2017, where I was up late at night because I told you I had insomnia. I couldn't sleep, right? I was up at night and I saw somebody on Facebook. They were talking about writing a book. And I got in touch with this lady. Her name was Stephanie Rodnez. And she said that you're supposed to be, she said that I told her that I wanted to write a book. And she said, well, you should create a publishing company. And I was like, what? I don't want a publishing company. I just want to write my book. So anyway, I started from that point. And she was my first coach in publishing. I knew how to write, but I didn't know about publishing. So she was my first coach. And after that, I had another coach. So it's just been continuous coaching. I'm in like 3 coaching programs right now. It's the thing about it is if I can't do something, I have to reach out to someone else that can. So I'm continuously coaching, getting coaches that's helping me to, where I am short, right? Where I don't have the skill set that I need. I'm looking to someone else that's successful. Whatever you want to do in life, find someone else that's successful doing that very thing. And then you seek coaching from them, right? And it's going to be an investment, right? You can't just automatically think somebody's going to mentor you and it's going to be free. No, I've invested. Down these last 7 years. I've heavily invested. And that's the biggest thing, coaching. Other than prayer, coaching is the biggest thing that helped me to accelerate my success. And I constantly have to have a coach because it's always because I want to always level up. I'm constantly reading. I read so many books. I can't even tell you that one book that changed everything, but I'm constantly reading a lot of different books. One of the books that I read recently, I'm trying to see if I have it. Brian Tracy, Eat That Frog, talking about procrastination. You know what? Here it is right here. Eat That Frog. 21 great ways to stop procrastinating and get more things done. And the biggest thing, Eat That Frog, is that biggest, ugliest task that you have to do. When I say take time to write down the goals that you want to achieve, that biggest thing, the hardest thing that you have to do, that's the frog. That's the ugly task. Get that out of the way and it'll free you up so that you can focus on where you shine. And the things that you don't do well, delegate to someone else. There are different organizations that can help you, different programs like Fiverr. For some tasks like creating documents or whatever, you can get them to create documents for you. If you have a dream of something that you want to do, again, get a coach. And then the things that you specialize in, you work on that. Something that you don't specialize in, find a coach or delegate that to someone else.
So things that you feel you cannot do it so well, get a coach or a mentor to do it, or to learn from the person to do it very well.
Yeah, to learn
And
from them.
wow, learn from them to do it very well. Okay. Before we bring this to a close, and the last question that I have, that I believe people also like to know how you also handle that. And right now there are a lot of things going on in the world, right? There are a lot across basically across the globe. There's a lot going on in people's life, a lot going on in like countries, a lot going on and in organizations, companies. Some people are progressing in those things that are going on that are drawbacks. Some are also um giving up. Okay, giving up. This week I was speaking to some few people that they were telling me a lot about why they are giving up. But I believe that being successful in your calling or your assignment is very, very important. You don't have to give up. For anybody that is watching us, any way that you feel like giving up, we are here to empower you. We are here to encourage you. If you can go back to play this particular message and listen to all that my guest has shared with us, you realize that giving up is not an option. For any way that you have to be successful, you have to do it. But my question is this: how do you manage stress and maintain
Mm.
a healthy work-life balance, or while striving for success? Because our bodies are also very, very important. Sometimes your 9 to 5 can stress you so much. I've been there before. Like it can stress you so much that when you get home, it's like, oh, I can't do this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. But how do you handle that? How do you manage stress and maintain a healthy work-life balance, strive for success?
You know, that's one of my things that I'm still working on. I would tell
Mhm.
you. But the biggest thing that I do when I manage stress is to take a break. Take a break. Sometimes, okay, so working a 9 to 5 and building a business and building a speaking career, man, you can get stressed out because you're overworking yourself. I'm learning more to take time to debrief, take time aside from working. Do something fun. You have to, think about a hobby or something like that. Or taking one thing that helps me is taking a nap. That helps me a lot. Prayer. I know I say that a lot, but that helps me a lot. Um, Hanging out with friends, family, taking some time to get away from the work and start enjoying life, because a lot of times I found myself, it's like, okay, I gotta do this, do this, do that, but I wasn't spending time relaxing and enjoying life. So I said, you know what, I gotta change that. So I got my passport and I started traveling more. But you have to take time to debrief from all of that. Take away, take a day off. I'm starting to right now take a mental health day monthly, one day per month, just to unwind. Maybe, get a massage or a manicure, pedicure, but taking some time for yourself. That's the biggest thing. Taking a break, taking a
Okay.
break, and then checking your circle. Who is, who are the people around you? You have to have positive people around you. Look at the people that are around you. And if all the people are around you draining you, that's not a good thing. You have to find someone that is going to build into you, build you up, right? When you are having a bad day, you need an accountability partner. You need someone to talk to, someone that understands what you're going through. Another thing is, taking the time to talk it out. If you don't have anyone that you can talk to, then talking to a mental health professional. That's been taboo a lot of times, but sometimes you need someone to talk to. So having somebody, that one friend or that family member that you can talk to, so that when you're having these stressful moments, you have to get it off your chest. That helps me a lot too. Just
Hmm.
being able to talk freely, someone that can listen to you. That helps a lot. Talking to someone, taking a break, and just, taking time to debrief, getting away from the phone, not answering the phone. Sometimes you got to turn your phone off for a
Hmm.
couple of hours, but just taking that personal time. That's the biggest thing that helps with stress. Taking a personal time, taking a quick nap, sometimes a 30-minute nap can do wonders.
Wow. taking a personal time. And you also said you have like one day in the month that you said it's what your mental health
Mental health day, just to
day
relax.
to
Yeah, just
relax.
to relax, do nothing. If you want to sit up and watch Netflix, just sometimes, that's another thing I do too. Sometimes when I'm having a busy, stressful week, I'm like, okay, let me kind of binge on this a couple of days or whatever. And then once I feel like I'm building myself back up, then I can get back out there and work. But just taking that time for yourself, just to give yourself a breather. That's very important.
That's very important. Somebody said that's very necessary. Yeah, and that's true. Yeah, I just typed in there. That's very necessary, and that is so true. You don't want to give up on yourself. Your body is only one, so you just have one body. You can go and borrow somebody's body as your body. Yeah. There's no way you can go and borrow somebody's body as your body. Your body is only one, so you have to take good care of that. That is very, very important. Thank you so much for coming up to bless us and touch on the subject of success. Before you leave, I want to recommend the book to everybody. So your last words when it comes to success before we let you go. I would say I don't know what I should put in one question. Okay, if you have to tell your young self in terms of um, achieving success and fulfillment, what will you tell your young self? That is one. And two, for everybody here that is also on the journey to success, what would you also tell them in terms of the things that they have to do, things that they should be aware of? Final last words to also encourage them and also to motivate them. Yeah.
Biggest thing I would say is give yourself grace. Don't be so hard on yourself. Don't be so serious about I mean, be serious about achieving your goals, but don't be so hard on yourself. Give yourself grace because we make mistakes. And like I said, we learn through failure. Don't be afraid to try. That's the biggest thing. Try. If it doesn't work, switch it up. Take a
Mm,
break and start all over again. But the biggest thing is to try. Don't be, because a lot of times, I mean, when I think back on the years, I would have all these ideas of things to do, and I wouldn't do it because I was scared because I didn't want to fail. Don't be afraid to fail. That's the biggest thing. Don't be afraid. Just start. Because once you start, everything will open. All the opportunities will open. Because the biggest thing is, I met all the coaches that I've met all those coaches online. It wasn't somebody that I knew personally. It's through Instagram, through Facebook, through networking, just like our connection.
yeah.
Everybody that I've met that helped me through my journey, writing coach, somebody that helped me set up the foundation for my business. Everybody I met online, community, networking. So get started. Once you get started, everything that you need is gonna appear. Be faithful, pray, don't give up, give yourself grace, and then God is going to connect you to everybody that you need along your journey.
Wow. I know I said that's my last question. Somebody just dropped a final question here. He says, what are your two most important keywords for success? Two important keywords for success.
Two most important words. Keep trying.
Keep trying.
Keep
Keep
trying.
trying.
It's not, if you fail, that's not the final destination. Keep trying.
Keep trying.
Keep trying.
Keep trying.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Keep trying.
Keep trying. Keep trying.
Yeah. Keep
Whoever wrote that
trying.
particular question, keep trying. Let that be the first a title of a book for you or a chapter of a book for you. Whoever wrote that question, keep trying. Let that be a
Keep
chapter.
going. Because,
Keep going.
I just like to say, sometimes we get stuck in our own head, like, oh my God, you feel like it's the end because we failed. Keep trying. It's going to get better. Because so many days I feel like giving up. And in those times I have to take a break, maybe a week, maybe two. But then when I do that, I feel rejuvenated. And I start again. Keep trying. Don't give up.
Keep trying. Don't give up. Thank you so much for coming up. Queashar, thank you so much. We are so much grateful for coming up to join us. And we've learned a lot. Personally, I've also learned a lot. I'm going to revisit this message every now and then to refresh my mind, to refresh myself when it comes to success. Don't give up. Keep trying. We love you. See you again next month. Thank you so much, my sister, for coming up. And please grab a book, grab a copy of the book, and I know it will bless you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.